Hello everybody and welcome to the URC round 12 preview. That is right, we're going through the things thick and fast. There's only a few more rounds left, so maybe you'll start to see teams who will officially qualify for the knockouts now. Maybe a little bit out yet, but I think some of the top teams like Leinster and Glasgow might be in that thing soon. But yeah, let's go. Let's preview the games. You should know how this works. We go down, talk about each game, try and give a rough prediction, and yeah, let's go. So we will start off with the first game that's happening, which is tonight, which is Glasgow versus Cardiff. Now, I did kind of hope to stream this game. I think it's looking kind of unlikely now, just due to the Wi-Fi again. I'm struggling to stream at the minute. I don't know why. It just decided to drop off a cliff, but it has. But Glasgow at Scotstoun is a different animal this season. I don't think they've lost a game at Scotstoun all season. And Cardiff have had spells where they've looked impressive, but on a whole, they've not looked that exciting enough to topple Glasgow. I think Glasgow's a pretty safe bet. Glasgow to win. Next up, though, is a slightly more exciting game as 10th face 6th and Ospreys host Munster. Now, obviously, Munster had a bit of a rough patch around Christmas-ish. They actually dropped to about 10th, 11th, but they have won a couple of games since. They have climbed back up to 6th, which isn't too bad for them. Ospreys, again, are a team who's been on and off this season. They've had some good games, they've had some bad games. But on a whole, they've not been too bad. Sitting in 10th at the minute, I don't think there's much in the table separating these two teams. It wouldn't surprise me if the winner does leapfrog the loser. If Ospreys won, obviously if Munster did, then they'd just stay above them. But I think Munster will take this. I think it could be quite tight, but I'd back the reigning champions to get it done. Moving on to Saturday now, we have the Sharks hosting Ulster, and I think this kind of run in the last 4, 5, 6 games to the end of the regular season will be where Sharks might start picking up a few wins as you start to see more European teams head towards them in Durban in South Africa. And I think that they will, beat a few more. Ulster, though, are a strong team. I know they've had rough patches, but they have, on a whole, been pretty decent. Sitting in 5th currently, Sharks obviously only on that one win at the bottom of the pack in 16th, although I would imagine most South Africans would not want you to remind them of that, and I don't blame them, to be honest with you. I think Sharks could have potential to pick up a win here, but I've still not seen enough for them to prove that they will beat Ulster. I just hope this bad run of form lasts for another couple of games because Edinburgh visit them next week. After the Edinburgh game, honestly, I don't care. But as long as Edinburgh win. I'm going to back Ulster just because, the Sharks have been abysmal this season. But I wouldn't be surprised if Sharks do start to pick up a few wins and start to maybe get some momentum. I don't think they can hit top 8 anymore, but at least maybe finish somewhere a bit better than dead last. Next up, we have another probably fairly one-sided game as Scarlets host Benetton. Scarlets have not been good this season at all. They're sitting in 14th. I think they've only won 2 or 3 games. Benetton, they were so good for so long, but in the last couple of rounds they've just slipped a little bit. They were sitting 2nd for a majority of the season and they've now dropped a bit to 8th. So it would be absolutely brilliant if they could win this game, and I think they will. Scarlets, they've not been too impressive. I know Benetton again will be missing a lot of their internationals, but as they showed against Leinster, they don't bloody well need them. They can still challenge and have give a lot of teams a good game, and I think they will do that, and I think that Benetton will come out on top. Next up, we head to South Africa and another exciting game as the Stormers host Edinburgh. This is another massive game for both teams. Edinburgh sitting in 4th, trying to just secure their place at the higher end of the table. Scarlets sitting in 9th, so they're still in the fight. I think Edinburgh in the fight as well, but Stormers are still desperate to get wins to try and push themselves up the table, get into that top 8, get their playoffs, get their Champions Cup. And obviously, Stormers, they've made the final the last 2 years. Can they keep that going? Not if they're sitting in 9th, they can't, because they won't even be in the quarterfinals. But in South Africa, Edinburgh don't have all their internationals back, so Stormers will, because obviously South Africa went in the Six Nations. I think this could be quite a one-sided affair, unfortunately. I think it could be a solid game. Edinburgh do have a few players back, but I think Stormers will take the cake in that one. Next up, now this is a proper encounter, as Connacht host Lions in Ireland at the Dexcom Stadium, so it's not at the sports ground. I would imagine the Dexcom's still in Galway, would be my guess. Not 100% sure though. But 11th, Lions in 11th, so this is kind of a battle for top 8. Connacht want a win to kind of cement themselves up there rather than just sitting on the fringe, and Lions want that win to maybe catapult themselves up. Yeah, I think Connacht will just about get the job done. Lions have looked pretty solid this season, but still not quite yet. Yeah. Next up, we have a couple of games that I think the conclusion might be already pretty foregone, to be honest with you, unfortunately. Dragons host Bulls. Bulls in second, looking phenomenal with all the top-range internationals. Dragons, they've had some solid games, but they've not really been able to challenge the best. With all the Welsh internationals, all the solid Welsh players are out. Not that there's many solid Welsh players at the minute. Nah, that's mean. There is. They just aren't playing that well as a team at the minute. I think Bulls are going to absolutely thump the Dragons, to be honest with you. I think they really are. Again, I think for the good of the game, it'd be nice if Dragons got a win, but I can't see it, if I'm going to be honest. And then last, but definitely not least, Zebra hosting Leinster. Again, pretty foregone this one, I think. Zebra missing all their internationals who have done phenomenal with Italy, and Leinster missing all their internationals who have done phenomenal with Ireland, but Leinster can miss 1,500 players and still put out a team that's better than most teams. So, yeah. I think Leinster will win that one pretty comfortably, unfortunately. But yeah, that is my predictions. So to give you a brief rundown, Glasgow to beat Cardiff, Munster to beat Ospreys, Ulster to beat Sharks, Benetton to beat Scarlets, Stormers to beat Edinburgh, Connacht to beat Lions, my computer's playing up, Bulls to beat Dragons, and Leinster to beat Zebra. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the round on the weekend on the games. As again, I probably won't be streaming tonight for the Glasgow game. I will do the Edinburgh game tomorrow. I don't care if the Wi-Fi is not working very well. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, I shall see you absolute bloody legends later.